People always ask me, how expensive is Vegas nowadays? Well, we just wrapped up 3 days in Vegas with a family of 5, and in this video, I'm going to show you how much money we spent. All right, let's go. First, let's talk about getting into Las Vegas. We live in Orange County, California. We could have flown Southwest Airlines. It's about an hour-and-a-half flight, costs somewhere between $50 and $150 each way, but with 5 people, that adds up pretty quick, so we decided to drive. Myself, OC Girl, the spunky princess, OC Girl's mom, and OC Girl's brother were in the SUV with us on the way to Vegas. We arrived onto the Strip at about 9 p.m. and checked into the world-famous Center Strip Bellagio Hotel, the one with the big fountain in front of it. And actually, this is one of the reasons why we made this trip, because the Bellagio had recently renovated their rooms and they were offering relatively inexpensive prices Thanksgiving week. The first 2 nights we got for $133 each night. The third night, which is the day before Thanksgiving, was $194. And because I'm an M Life Gold, no parking fees and no resort fees. Otherwise, it'd be another $18 a night for self-parking and $45 a night for the resort fee. With 5 of us, we did have to get 2 rooms. That totals up to be $522 per room, or a total of $1,045, but we technically didn't pay this until we checked out, and so I'm going to wait to add this up to the total until we check out on day number 3. After a great first night's sleep, and by the way, full review on the Bellagio Hotel coming soon, we were hungry for breakfast. We got breakfast at the PALIO Espresso Cafe, which is basically right down from the main hotel tower's elevators. For $38, we got 2 cappuccinos, 2 Italian donuts, and a yogurt parfait. After breakfast, I wanted to see if I was lucky, and there's this new slot machine at the Bellagio. It's called Go-Go Claw. This has been making the rounds around Vegas, and it is basically a crane game as a slot machine to play. It's $5 each play, and there are these little balls in it, like you're doing one of these stuffed animal things. It has a joystick that you move around, and then you push the button to drop the claw, but it turns out this thing is entirely luck-based. There's no skill in it, that if you actually win and you pick up a ball, like I did right here, but the luck engine doesn't say you win, then it just drops the ball. Slightly deceiving, but that was my first $20 of gambling play. At this point, I broke off from the family to go shoot some videos solo down the Strip, updates on my Vegas guides, what's new in 2023, updated travel tips. Stay tuned for those soon. Then for lunch, I stopped into the Planet Hollywood at Earl of Sandwich, and for $15, I got the holiday turkey sandwich with turkey stuffing, cranberry, and gravy. Super good. Chips and a drink. I don't really know what everybody else got because I wasn't with them, but let's assume theirs cost the same as mine. $15 times 4, $60 added to the family total. After lunch, I walked down the Strip and made it all the way to Circus because I wanted to check out their new $5 coin slot machines, where I put in $20. Actually, I had to exchange my $20 at the booth to get these $5 coins, which I gambled $15 worth on the slot machine. Didn't win anything. One of them came home with me for a kind of cheap $5 souvenir. For dinner, we reassembled the family of 5, which by the way is the same number as the number of original Avengers, and went over to MOTT 32 at the Palazzo. This is a fairly high-end Chinese restaurant from Hong Kong that specializes in Peking duck, unfortunately, which they were sold out of because they only have 25 a day, but instead we had a number of their other items, including the baked chashu bao pork buns that the spunky princess really enjoyed. We also had their xiaolong bao, some minced Peking duck meat with lettuce cup served on the side, some crab fried rice, some really good shrimp, and some also really good noodles with beef. Total damages here, not too bad for a high-end Chinese meal, $197.98, including the tip. By the way, I'm rounding all of this up to the dollar, so $198 to the total, please. After dinner, we went over to Area 15, which is Vegas' newest immersive experience shopping mall, I guess. Anyway, admission here is free to come into the main part of it. We wandered around probably for about an hour, just checking out all the different psychedelic things. The spunky princess really loved it here too, and since we didn't actually go in anything, this was free. Omega Mart is the big attraction here, and by the way, if you want to see a full video on that, which does have a fairly high admission fee, you can check out a link in the description below, or at the end of this video for my full tour of Omega Mart. But let me tell you, it actually, I think, is worth it to go in. And our final order of business on our first full day in Vegas was to stop and get some desserts to eat back in the room and some breakfast for the next day, so I didn't have to stand in that stupidly long line at the Bellagio coffee shop again. We stopped at Dominique ANSEL at Caesar's Palace. This is the inventor of the cronut. He's got really delicious pastries. We spent $59.44 on 3 pastries, a cronut, a DKA, and a cookie. The 3 pastries were for dessert tonight, and the cronut and the DKA was for breakfast tomorrow. Now, after a good night's sleep, we did need some drinks to go with those pastries. Mobile order from Starbucks of a coffee and a venti milk, $8. On our way out of the hotel, I put another $20 into Go-Go Claw. Still not a winner. Should have taken the first game as a hint. Now, being in Vegas on the week of Thanksgiving, we wanted to have a fairly festive, gluttonous meal, and nothing is more gluttonous than the Vegas buffet, and the #1 buffet right now is the BACCHANAL buffet at Caesar's Palace. $64.99 for 4 people. Total that up, and you get $281.73. Good news is kids under 4 eat free, and so the spunky princess, she really got to have herself an ice cream coma with her free all-you-can-eat ice cream here. We really enjoyed the buffet here, especially because we could make reservations, which meant we didn't have to stand in line, though we did have to make the reservation about 2 months in advance. After changing into some more comfortable pants and loosening our belt buckles, we went over to the Neon Museum. This is the first time I've ever been there. I've always wanted to go see this, but their tickets are always booked out whenever I happen to go, and I don't book the tickets all that early. This was really neat. $72 for all 4 of us to go in. Spunky Princess was free. A great place to see all these old historic neon signs, including the Hard Rock Cafe, the original Plaza Hotel, and more. If you're a history buff, check this one out. For dinner, we went over to one of my favorite places to eat in all of Las Vegas, the food court at Resorts World. Over here, we had some Singaporean chicken rice, some delicious Malaysian noodles under really weird looking lights, but they were quite tasty. About $15 per entree here. Also got a tiger sugar boba drink that was really expensive at $8. Total about $100 for the 5 of us to eat dinner, but it was really good. After dinner, we headed just outside the food court to Enchant at Resorts World, home of the world's largest holiday illuminated maze, which you may have already seen my full video on. This one was a lot of fun. $42 a person plus some junk facility fees gets us up to $189, but it was really awesome, and I think worth the price, though the food and drink inside was really expensive. We didn't have to eat it because we already had tasty food at the food court before. We liked Dominique ANSEL so much the night before, we decided to have round 2, 3 more pastries, 2 brekkie breads, $50.88. After 3 nights at the Bellagio, it was finally time for us to check out and settle our bill, so $1,045 for both rooms and the taxes added to the total, plus $20 as a nice tip for the housekeepers. Now, for whatever reason, my tummy wasn't feeling so good. I wasn't doing any drinking, but we had to stop at CVS and get some Pepto-Bismol, $11.99. For lunch, we did the Resorts World Food Court round 2, where we had some Vietnamese pho noodle soup, some pan-fried Chinese dumplings, an onigiri, some yakitori, some more of those really delicious Malaysian fried noodles, and this really good Malaysian-style Indian curry with some fresh-made bread. Total damages, add $100 to the total, please. Now, before heading back on the road to Orange County, we stopped by Starbucks at Resorts World for a coffee and a large iced tea. $12, definitely extra Las Vegas Strip pricing at this casino location of Starbucks. And then we needed to get some gas. Gas was $78. Let's go ahead and double that since we also had to fill up the gas tank once we got back to California. And since we were driving back on Thanksgiving Day, not a lot of places were open to make a pit stop and a restroom stop, but one of my favorites that was open was Eddie World in Yermo, California. This is a gigantic rest stop that has really clean restrooms, and the Spunky Princess really enjoyed her strawberry ice cream for $4.75. And that brings us to a grand total of $2,465 for a 3-night trip to Las Vegas for 5 people, 4 adults, and 1 2-year-old. Well, fellow explorers, if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy some of my other videos on Las Vegas. Do you want to see some of the cheapest eats on the Las Vegas Strip? Maybe this was all too expensive. You want to see my full walkthrough of Omega Mart, or you want to see where some of my favorite hotels are. You'll find links on the screen to those videos or more in the description below. As usual, I won't say goodbye because I'm going to see you in one of those videos.